Okay, we are here with a client. Informed consent has been covered. His HIPAA rights have been covered. And I want to start by you circled a one under your relationship. Um, would you care to elaborate on that, please?
Just having a tough time in a relationship. Two babies. We have a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old. Um, and as of late, things have been not good. I have the feeling that she might be engaging in conversation or more with somebody outside of the house, and so I'm worried about that. But I also feel here for a while, though, I haven't been there. I've been checked out, so to speak. And it's difficult because we have two beautiful kids together. And as much as I want to say what I'm feeling is about the kids, right now what I'm feeling is about the fact that she's out talking to somebody else.
Okay. So what I'm hearing is you're worried about her going behind your back, so to speak, having relationships with another man. Um, Now, when you say you've been checked out, what do you mean by that? You've been checked out.
Um, I think, I've allowed old habits to resurface. I've taken her for granted. I've put my focus on what do I need, what are my needs.
What are these old habits that you speak of?
Um, Being non-existent, focusing on what I need, and what I mean by that is, as far as like the culture. I'm one of our cultural, I don't know what you want to call it, advisors. I don't know. People come to me for ceremony. I have a great deal of knowledge in the aspect of our Assiniboine ways, and
Cultural leader?
well, maybe I don't know, but I do know that we have a lot of death and we have a lot of loss on our reservation, and so there's myself and a few of the boys that we've taken that role on of, the old timers have kind of sat back and that become our role. But I think to make this easy and so you understand is in our life and in everybody's life, there has to be a certain amount of balance.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, it feels like the spiritual side is just full. The emotional, the physical, and the mental side are drained. And so all the spiritual work I've been doing, it feels like I don't have enough to go home and give those things that I should be giving to my wife and to my children.
So, what would it look like if you were to cut the pie up on the spiritual side and move some over to the other side of your. Now, when I say the other side, I'm talking about your spiritual side and the community versus your emotional side and your marriage. Basically, the cultural versus the marriage. Is that what I'm hearing?
Right.
Kind of? Okay. So, what would it look like if you were to take a few pieces of the pie, just for starters, and move it from the spiritual side over to the family side? What would that look like?
Well, I know that's what is ultimately what needs to happen, but
How does that happen?
that's the tough part because death's not going to stop presenting itself to us. Our people are not just going to stop passing away so that I can take a break, so that I can be home, so that I can do those things. And so I don't, that's, part of the reason why I'm here, because I don't know.
So, what I'm kind of feeling is you are the only one who can do these kinds of ceremonies.
No,
That's not what I'm hearing.
no.
Okay.
So there's more than myself. I have two other brothers that can do these ceremonies, and we have plenty of brothers that can help and assist. And we do still have the old timers, and so That's a good point. I feel like I have to shoulder it all because of my cultural background and how long I grew up in these ways, and so. But at some point, I'm going to have to learn how to say no, or I'm going to have to begin to get people trained to understand these ceremonies because, as you can see, from the beginning of my story, it's taken a toll on the people that I love most.
So would you say, how would you think your brothers would take the news that, let's say something happened and you were required to be at one of these funerals or one of these ceremonies, and your relationship needed attention also? How do you think your brothers would feel if you were to say, boys, I have to sit this one out? I have some other things that need just as much attention. What would that look like? I mean, would you be supported in making a decision like that?
Oh, I think I would be.
Would
The
you
one thing about our culture that we understand is that it has to be inclusive. It can't be linear. It can't be, one man does this, one man does that. Our village works together, and if there one piece is missing, then it doesn't work right. So, I think we've lived in this Western civilization long enough now for it to truly affect what we do and how we think. And that affects everything. That affects my relationships at home. That affects relationships outside the home. But at the end of the day, I know that my brothers have the ability to do that. They have the ability to handle that. So I feel okay that they could do that.
Okay, so
Right there.
That 7?
Yeah.